Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Books of the Month. I'm your host, Dr. O.C. Pringle, and my guest today is Stephen P. Russak. Stephen P. Russak. He is the author of Around the World in 12 Years and 12 Square Meters, Memories and Insights. Welcome, Stephen. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm very well. Thank you.
It's great having you
Thank you
with
very
us.
much for this opportunity to talk to you.
It's great having you, Stephen. And of course, you're not here in the studio with us. You're a remote guest today. Where are you located?
Mhm. I'm located in Boise, Idaho.
Boise, Idaho. That's an
Yep.
exciting place.
Yeah, very far away from you.
Very far away, but it's a beautiful part of the country. You have a
It
very
is.
interesting title for your book, Stephen. But before getting into the book, tell us a little bit about who is Stephen P. Russak.
Well, I was born in Brazil, in the northeast of Brazil, and grew up there from Swiss parents. And I moved to Switzerland when I was 19 years old to study engineering. And there I met my wife. She was born in Germany. And we married and had two children, went back to Brazil for 12 years again. And then we went back to Switzerland and stayed there practically all our lives. After retirement, we had a motorhome custom made for us, and we traveled around the world in 12 years. 12 square meters are the size of the car, more or less, the living part of the car. And after 12 years, we moved to the States to stay near our children and grandchildren.
You've literally been around the world.
Yes, actually, yes, yes,
So I guess, is it safe to say that your travel around the world, that is your inspiration for writing this book?
yes, it is.
Okay, I'm looking at the front cover of your book and I see a van or a camper. Is that what you wrote in?
That's it, yeah.
Oh, wow. So that's the custom made vehicle that you had made for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, it is. In the book, the whole story is told about how we built it, all the problems we had, how it performed on the road, and everything is in there.
I'm sure you saw some of the most interesting things and met some of the most interesting people in the world. But again, around the world in 12 years, you can't drive your van or your RV across an ocean. So how did you go around the world?
Yeah, we had to ship it.
Are you serious? So you would
Yeah,
drive as far as you possibly could drive, and then you will ship your vehicle to the next
to the
continent.
next. Yeah, yeah. Then from Australia to New Zealand, then from New Zealand to South Africa. Then we traveled around Africa, and then we shipped to South America.
That is an exciting life, man.
Yeah.
That's listen. That is another level of a road trip. You add meaning to that type to that term. What's some of the most interesting places you would say you visited?
It's very difficult to say. We decided, my wife and I, not to make comparisons, not to see each country by itself, and
That's
they are all interesting. They are all have the good things. Perhaps have a few bad things, but on the whole, it was very. Everything is very interesting. Naturally, Australia was for us. It was the first big part of our trip was Australia, and it was very exotic for us. That's very interesting. And Africa is fascinating with all the different peoples, all the different animals. Nature is fantastic.
Mhm.
But it's South America, and then we drove the Panamericana to Alaska. Everything was interesting. It's hard to say where what was.
Man, that I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
How many
Well,
how often did you have
I,
to take breaks?
I beg pardon?
How often did you have to take breaks every day, or how did you do that?
Yeah, we didn't have we have a rough plan, but if we came to a place we liked, we stayed there for longer, and then we continued the trip.
Okay. Where did you stay the longest, Stephen?
Uh, well, we stayed in Argentina quite long.
Argentina.
Argentina, we
Okay.
started in Argentina,
I see.
and in Peru. Peru has a lot to see. We stayed there quite a while, and then in Panama we had a problem with the car. We had to stay there for 1 month, but
Oh,
it was lovely.
interesting. But that's a beautiful place. Listen, what better place to have car trouble?
A place to have what? To have,
I said, what better place to have car trouble? At least you're in a beautiful territory.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. It was nice, and yeah, it was fascinating in its own way.
What would you say would be the most interesting part of your book?
Well, I hope everything is interesting. I don't know. We have in the book. First, I tell about the building of the car, about the reasons why we started all that, and so on. Then the second part is 12 stories. There are 12 stories that I thought were most interesting,
Mm-hmm.
and the beside these 12 stories, I have um, three fables,
Mm-hmm.
because I have read many books, travel books, where people started to tell about their own ideas and what
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they like a school teacher, trying to force their ideas and so on. And I didn't like that, and I didn't want to do it. So I had the idea of writing fables
Okay.
to tell a little bit of the things we thought about, we learned in the trip, and so on and so forth.
That's a great idea. Quite creative on your part, I would say. What type of
Yeah,
reviews have you been getting?
yeah, I was inspired by Leonardo da Vinci. Most people don't know that Leonardo da Vinci also wrote fables, and they are very impressive, very, very nice. And I read them, I liked them very much, and I thought that's a fantastic way to tell things, without being too arrogant or too
Correct.
like a schoolmaster.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Again, what type of reviews have you been getting? Have you been getting any type of reviews from your book?
Yes, I have two reviews, official ones from the Hollywood press and from the U.S. Something. They are all in my website. Those two, and I have heard lots of good comments, from people.
Okay. Okay.
But the book, I have to tell you, the book is quite expensive, and I'm having it republished for a much better price, about half of what it's now. And then I think more people are going to read it, and then I'll get more feedback.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good move. That'll be a good move, especially in this financial climate that we're currently experiencing. So that I think that'll be a very, very smart move on your part as an author. Where can I send my viewers to go purchase your book?
Amazon,
Okay.
Amazon, and lots of bookshops, Barnes and Noble, and lots of others.
Okay. Do you have a website, Stephen?
Yes, I have a website, www.aroundtheworldin12years, 12 written in numbers, 1, 2, and .com.
Okay. Round the world in 12 years.com.
Yeah.
You all can see that at the bottom of the screen. Listen, I promise you, you purchase this book, you will be intrigued by Stephen's experience traveling literally around the world. That's a lot of traveling. You've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot. I can only imagine all of the great food that you ate in the different places.
Yes.
Are you a foodie? Do you like trying different foods?
Oh, yes, we do. And we ate a lot in restaurants and places that we could see the food of each country, you know. And that was very fascinating. Yeah.
And all of the souvenirs, all of the pictures. Man, great job. Great job. I commend you. There's a lot of people uh, that gets a chance to have such experience. And so congratulations. God blessed you to do such. And that's quite fascinating. In about 30 seconds, tell us what's your next plan as far as an author?
You mean the next book? Or I am working in a book. I have been working on it for a long time. That's completely different. It's actually science fiction,
Okay.
but science fiction is more to make a nice nice reading. But in reality, I'm dealing with many of the big problems of the world nowadays.
Well, listen, you've seen so much and have learned so much, acquired so much knowledge about the world that we live in. I'm sure a science fiction book coming from you is going to be uh, everything extraordinary, outstanding, unusual, uncanny, unique, all of it. So I commend you on your works. Continue doing what you're doing, Stephen. You have a lot to offer the world. Okay, have a lot to
Okay.
offer the world, and I don't want my guests to go anywhere. Listen, I need you all to stay there. Don't turn the channel. Get up, get a drink of water, come right back to your television because I have another author that's coming after a word from our sponsors. A quick break, and I'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere. Thank you, Stephen. Have a wonderful day, sir.